You're now tuned into Kofi's Universe, since you're just sitting on Uranus. This is the #1 YouTube channel for hip-hop culture news, informed black social issues, song reaction videos, and even comedy. So be sure to like this post, and if you haven't already subscribed, do so right about now. Razzcast.
I meet Maddie. He goes, these guys are incredible. And like, we did the deal. That album to me, Wu-Tang was 36 Chambers. That album was the start of the tree.
And then you get the Infamous.
But then we get with the Infamous. And to me, that's the most important album. I'm not saying the best album.
For your label?
Well, because it gave us real credibility and it gave us...
Yeah, because look, we put 2 on the board at that point.
Yeah, within 2 years.
Do you like... I can only imagine, because that album is such a...
And we had a Flex album that did... Everybody was like, what the fuck you doing?
Yeah, the 60 Minutes of Funk. Yeah, I still have that. I actually think I have that on vinyl. Shout out to Flex. Crazy. I forgot that was on... But did you guys have the Tunnel album?
No, that was
Def Jam? Okay, yeah. The Infamous is an album that is like, you know, there's such a vulnerability about parts of the album. It's just such a dynamic body of work.
It's making a second life. Like Shook One's, the beat was voted best hip hop beat of all time, right? And then An Eye for an Eye for me is one of my favorite records of all time.
Yes, I think, dude, Give Up the Goods.
Yeah, 100%. But I remember, like I said earlier, I was a basketball junkie, right? So I'd be in the city. But on Sundays, there was this one game in Long Island where I grew up with. And even though I'm in my 30s now, everybody would still go to this park. So I'd wake up at 7:30 in the morning, get in a car, go to the park, and play the album. And I would, for 45 minutes, I would keep it on repeat. An Eye for an Eye.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's one of the greatest hip-hop songs of all time.
And it was like fighting music for me. Like, I would get that.
YouTube salute. So Steve Rifkind said that Mobb Deep, the Infamous album, is the most important album that Loud Records released in history. So let's talk about it. If you're new to my channel, thumbs up the video, hit that sub button, click that bell icon to be notified when I upload new content and go live. Now, before I begin, he didn't say the best album, the most important album. All right, y'all. And the reason why, because 36 Chambers, that came out in 1993, and that put Loud Records on the map. Because albums before that came out, 36 Chambers, Twisted came out, Running Off at the Mouth. That came out in 92. And you had the Alcoholics 21 and Over. That was their first group album as far as like releasing an album together. The Alcoholics came out. You had Mad Cap, Lick My Dupe, No Hands. Wu-Tang came out November 1993. In 94 was the Fresh soundtrack. People forgot about that, right? Live 95. They released a little compilation. That was 94. So in 95, you had the Alcoholics came out with their second album, Coast to Coast, Fun Master Flex, the mixtape Volume 1, 60 Minutes of Funk. Mobb Deep, the Infamous came out April 1995. I won't forget because I was in high school at that time. Raekwon, Only Built for Cuban Links, came out August 1st, 1995. In 96, you had All That, Nickelodeon album, Cellar Dwellers. That was a dope album. Delinquent Habits came out. Hell on Earth came out November 19th, 1996. Off the Hook, Sadat X, Wild Cowboys came out that year. Exhibit, At the Speed of Light. That was a dope album from Exhibit too. A lot of people slept on that album. 97, you had the Alcoholics Liquidation, Bring the Ruckus, A Loud Story. Adriana Evans came out with her album, Hoodlum soundtrack. That was a dope soundtrack. Fun Master Flex, Mixtape Volume 2. Wu-Tang Forever, Soul in the Hole soundtrack. Yvette Michelle, 98. Big Pun, Capital Punishment, his first studio album. You had Delinquent Habits, their second studio album. Fun Master Flex dropped 60 Minutes of Funk Volume 3. Pete Rock Soul Survivor album, that was dope. Exhibit second album, 40 Days, 40 Nights, before he went to Aftermath because he got brought out his deal. The Beatnuts came out in 99. Inspector Deck, Uncontrolled Substance. Cash, Rap Life. Mobb Deep, Murder Music. Raekwon dropped his second studio album, Project Pat, No Good. So, like I said, these are just like the albums so far, like I'm naming. You know, MOP came out with The Warriors, Prodigy, HNIC, 3-6 Mafia. You had Fun Master Flex, 60 Minutes of Funk, Volume 4. Big Pun came out with the Yeah Baby. Dead Prez, Let's Get Free. You know, Alcoholics dropped another album in 2001, Mobb Deep, Infamy, Killer Army. They did come out on Loud. A lot of people don't know about that. 36 Relativity, yes. You know, Wu-Tang kept dropping albums, yada, yada, yada. Little Flip dropped something. Underground Legend, Project Pat, Executioners, The Beat Nuts. So out of all these albums, do I think Mobb Deep, The Infamous, is the most important album of all the albums? I think it is because some people probably thought, can Loud Records do it again? You brought out Wu-Tang Clan, you know, 9-10 member group, you know, rest in peace, rising power to ODB. They came out with a classic. That was a classic right there. Think about that. From top to bottom. It don't get no better than, you know, 36 Chambers at that time, as far as from Loud Records. But here comes Mobb Deep with their second studio album, The Infamous. You know, Shook Ones. That's rated the best beat of all time. The Shook Ones Part 2. And I can arguably agree with that. I mean, there's other beats we can say that can be better than Shook Ones. There's some beats out there people can say, what about this beat? What about this beat? And that's fine. That's debatable. You know, this it's all opinionated. You know, then you have Survival of the Fittest. That's played all the time at concerts in the gym. That song gets me hyped. Eye for Eye. Give Up the Goods is a dope single. Big Noy. Big Noy got his contract through Tommy Boy because of that feature. A lot of people don't know about that. A lot of people don't know about that. And from there, think about all the albums when people started to drop albums on Loud. People started to actually sell. We knew Raekwon was going to go platinum. So Raekwon already established himself. Only Built for Cuban Links, that's the album was going to hit. The album sold 30,000 his first week. It sold 10,000 more units than Tikal when Tikal came out on Def Jam. Cellar Dwellers, they didn't go gold, but they still made a good impact. Big Pun, his impact in '98 was great. You know, Wu-Tang Forever, you know, that can be probably the second most important album. I can say Wu-Tang Forever can be the second most important album on Loud Records because that was probably one of the most, or arguably the most anticipated rap album in hip hop history, or from a group. I ain't say a solo artist, from a group, because everybody was anticipating Wu-Tang second album. People didn't even know what the title was going to be. People thought it was going to be 36 Chambers Part 2. Shadow Boxing. We was coming up with all kind of names. We had all kind of theories coming out. We didn't know. Nobody knew it was going to be a double disc until it was revealed in the source and when I heard it on the Wake Up Show when RZA got on the Wake Up Show. So we didn't know. Nobody knew. But to me, that could be the second most important album. I think the third most important album from Loud Records would be Only Built for Cuban Links. And I think a tie with Hell on Earth. Because those albums right there, everybody was anticipating Mobb Deep's third album, Hell on Earth, but you didn't know what to expect, especially after Tupac dissed him. And you knew you wanted to know what Raekwon wanted to do. Raekwon, Only Built for Cuban Links, was supposed to be called Wu Gambinos. But they had to change the name because the Gambinos said that they was going to sue Raekwon. But they was cool to keep the Wu Gambinos title. So that's my opinion, but I want to hear from y'all. What album do you think is the most important album that Loud Records ever released? And what's the best album Loud Records ever released? Post your comments below. Hope smash Black Panther the like button. Subscribe to my channel. Click the bell icon to be notified when I upload new content go live. You want to support, donate to the channel? I have Patreon. Patreon.com/Kofi Universe. Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Streamlabs. Everything's in the description. Until next time, salute.